Right now, you're probably sitting on your porcelain throne with a roll of triple ply, ultra soft toilet paper just inches away. But what if I told you that for 300,000 years, you didn't have any? No paper, no wipes, no bidet, nothing. And yet your ancestors didn't walk around with permanent skid marks or die from infections every week. The answer changes everything about what clean really means. And it's way darker and way more fascinating than you think. Imagine this. You're you, but 20,000 years ago. You're a hunter-gatherer in the lush forests of Ice Age Europe. Dawn light filters through the trees. Your stomach gurgles after yesterday's mammoth steak, and nature calls. You don't head to a bathroom. You head outside, find a quiet spot behind a boulder, drop into a deep squat, and let it rip. But here's what's fascinating. That squat position wasn't just convenient. Scientists studying modern bathroom habits say it straightens your colon like a garden hose, so everything comes out cleaner and faster than when we sit on our fancy toilets today. Less mess, less wiping needed. But you still need something. You reach for the first thing nature hands you. Soft, broad leaves from a fern, or a fistful of moss so plush it feels like the Stone Age version of Charmin. In the right spot, that moss is perfect. But here's the part nobody talks about. Pick the wrong plant, and you're in hell. Poison ivy? Instant fire down below that lasts days. Stinging nettles? You're dancing around camp like you sat on a hornet's nest. And yet your prehistoric self knew the good stuff by instinct. You'd learned it the hard way, just like every kid learns not to touch the pretty red berries. But leaves weren't the only option. In drier grasslands, you grabbed handfuls of soft grass. Near rivers, you scooped up cool, wet mud, or rinsed everything with fresh water from the stream. And here's a quick list of what else you reached for, depending on where you lived. In the frozen north, fresh snow that numbed and cleaned in one icy swipe. On rocky coasts, smooth seashells scraped gently like nature's credit card. In the desert, fine sand that acted like the world's roughest loofah. Yeah, it wasn't gentle, but it worked. And then there were the stones. Smooth river pebbles, palm-sized and perfectly flat. You'd grab one, wipe once or twice, then toss it. Archaeologists have found piles of these gastroliths near ancient campsites. They weren't for cooking. They were your prehistoric toilet paper. This wasn't luxury. This was survival. One bad wipe and an infection could take you out before you turned 30. But here's the twist that blows your mind. Some days, you barely wiped at all. The squat did so much of the work that a quick air dry or a quick rinse in a puddle was enough. Studies on ancient coprolites, fossilized poop, show that early humans carried fewer intestinal parasites than later farming societies. Why? Because they moved constantly, pooped in fresh spots every time, and didn't sit in their own filth like city dwellers would later. Fast forward a few thousand years and you're still you, but now you're part of a small band trekking across what will one day be China. The urge hits again. This time you spot a handy stick. Not just any stick. A bamboo hygiene stick wrapped at the end with soft cloth or leaves. 2,000-year-old versions of these have been dug up along the Silk Road, still carrying traces of human poop and parasites under the microscope. Scientists confirmed it. These were your ancestors' version of a reusable wipe. Rinse it in the river, reuse it tomorrow. Efficient? Yes. Gross by today's standards? Absolutely. Move to the Mediterranean, and everything gets next level weird. You're now in ancient Greece. Instead of leaves, you grab a broken piece of pottery called a pessoi. Some of them even had your enemy's name scratched on them. Talk about revenge served cold. One quick scrape, and you literally wiped the floor with your rival. The Romans took it further. They had public latrines with a long stick topped with a sea sponge soaked in vinegar or salt water. The tersorium. You wiped, rinsed the sponge in a communal bucket, and left it for the next guy. Yes, the same sponge, shared by strangers. Seneca wrote about a gladiator who actually killed himself by shoving one down his throat rather than face the arena again. That's how legendary these things were. But back to pure prehistoric life. You didn't have pottery or sponges. You had whatever the land gave you that day. And here's the shocking revelation. Your body adapted. Those big cushy buttocks we all have, they evolved partly because early Homo erectus needed better wiping leverage. Fingers, leaves, stones, whatever got the job done without spreading disease. One wrong move and dysentery or skin infections could wipe out your whole group. So you got really good at reading the forest like a pharmacy. You also got creative. In some places, you used animal fur scraped clean, or the soft inner bark of certain trees. Corn husks once farming kicked in. Coconut fibers on tropical islands. The list goes on, but the rule was simple. Soft, clean, and disposable. Or at least rinsable. And here's the part nobody talks about in history books. All this natural wiping kept your immune system on high alert. You weren't living in a sterile bubble. Your body fought off bacteria daily and got stronger for it. Modern studies show that kids raised in ultra-clean environments have higher rates of allergies and autoimmune issues. Your prehistoric self? Zero allergies, iron gut microbiome, and an immune system forged in the wild. But life wasn't perfect. Parasites still hitchhiked along. Tapeworms from undercooked meat, liver flukes from contaminated water. The hygiene stick from that Silk Road latrine proved it. Multiple parasite species still visible after 2 millennia. You survived, but you paid in stomach cramps and occasional close calls. Now fast forward to today. You flush, wipe with 2-ply perfection, wash your hands with scented soap, and never think twice. We gained convenience, comfort, and lower infection rates. Hospitals, antibiotics, and Charmin Ultra Strong mean we live longer and smell better. But here's the powerful reflection. We lost something too. That raw connection to the land. The instinct to read nature like a survival guide. The resilience that came from dealing with mess the hard way every single day. Your prehistoric self didn't have toilet paper, but he had the ultimate backup plan. Whatever the earth provided, right there, right then. He squatted, wiped with moss or stone or snow, and kept moving. No shame, no fuss. Just another day staying alive in a world that didn't come with instructions. So the next time you reach for that roll, take half a second and thank the caveman who first grabbed a handful of leaves and thought, yeah, this'll do. Because that simple choice is why you're here, scrolling on your phone, wondering what the heck he actually used. The answer? Everything. And somehow, it was enough.